I'm about to do one of my most favorite things, and I hope you'll stick around and watch while I do it. My name is Michelle. If this is your first time here on my channel, I am a commissioned Alabama notary public. I'm also a notary instructor, and on this channel, my focus is helping Alabama residents become successful Alabama notaries. It's been a while since I held a Q&A session where I answer questions that have been posted or sent in to me by subscribers to the channel or members of my Facebook group, which is called Notaries for Alabama Hangout. So if you're a commissioned notary in Alabama or even an aspiring notary public, I want to invite you to join the Facebook group. It's a more private atmosphere, which makes it easier for individuals to post questions and get the support that they need. Give me just a moment while I share my screen. Today's question came from a member of the Facebook group, and she wrote, knowing there are multiple jobs that can fall under the notary category, do you think it's wise for me to change my existing company name or leave it as is? Should I just list all of the services I offer in marketing and advertising? I ask this question because there's a certification I'm trying to get, and it requires the business to be in existence for at least 1 year, and the company name to me is already too long. I think this is a really great question. And by the way, in the P, I asked her what her company name is. And so I agree right now, MP, your company name is long. I would recommend taking out 2 words out of your name, at least 2 words to shorten it. And I'll explain more in just a minute why that matters. And it kind of sounds like you're going down that path as well. But first, I want to speak to those of you who are watching who may not be familiar with the concept of notaries owning businesses. Now, to be a commissioned Alabama notary, you do not have to also be a business owner. You can get your notary commission, and then when someone needs their signature notarized, they can come to you. You will charge them $10 for each notarial act that you perform. You keep that fee, sign, stamp their signature, and send them on their way. However, about 20, 30 years ago, a trend started happening across the United States where some notaries figured out that with advertising and marketing and a business plan, that it would be possible to start a notary business, which means they would offer additional services in addition to just notarizing someone's signature. They may offer travel service, so instead of the signer getting in their car, meeting the notary, driving to the notary will travel to them. The notaries also found out that there are certain companies that will hire a notary to present real estate documents to customers and clients. And the list goes on and on. So NP is a notary business owner who is looking for feedback from her colleagues, other notaries in the business, as to whether or not she should change her existing company's name. And my short answer, MP, I know you're not going to like it, is it depends. It really does depend. And so that's the short answer. You'll end up deciding whether to do it or not, but I do have some information for you to consider. Should you change your business name? I say yes, you should change your name. One, to make it a little shorter, but also I think it could be a wise choice if you've been in business for less than 2 years. All right. And if you really haven't gotten your notary business off the ground yet, and what I'm getting at is, if you are a new notary business owner and you've only performed a few notarizations here and there, inconsistently, part-time perhaps, you don't have a Google business profile under your name, then it shouldn't be difficult or too impactful to your business if you change the legal name. And again, you see that third bullet, I'm saying if you've done very little marketing, advertising, brand recognition. Because here I'm reminding you what all needs to change when you change the name. It's not a small task. But again, if you haven't created a website yet, spent money on a logo or fancy stationery and 5,000 business cards, this shouldn't be an issue for you to change your name. I am also reminding you that changing your company name will cost you money. You mentioned in your question that you have an LLC. And so there are going to be steps that you'll need to take in order to update those documents as well as the business license. But if the certification, I shouldn't say but, if the certification you're pursuing for your business is for something unrelated to being a notary, then I think it may be a good idea for you to change your company name so that prospective customers won't be confused. An example that I could give you, it's a bad example, but it makes my point, is let's say you're going into pet services, pet walking, pet washing, so to speak. You drive to the client. There's no way NP Notary Services gets that point across. All right? And then finally recognize that if you do proceed to change your company's name, you're going to have to carve out some time and energy to get it done. I'm at a point in my business where I ask myself when I start a project, is this project going to bring in income to me? So what I mean, if I'm making changes, adjustments just to make something more colorful, prettier, easier to read, it needs to not take up a lot of my time, because I need to spend my time interacting with my customers, actually providing the service, and bringing in revenue. So you're going to need to balance all of that. So again, here on the slide for answer number 1, which is yes, I've given you some things to consider. But answer number 2 is me saying no, don't change your company name. I stand by that. If you've been in business for more than 2 years, it's up and running, it's well established, you already have a social media following under your company name, you've got the website, the Google business listing, you may have invested in flyers and stamps, letterhead, all of this with your company name. That, again, is going to cost you money and take up your time to update. And I do think that if the certification you're pursuing pertains to legal support services like apostille work, inspections, remote notarizations, it can easily fall under your current notary company name. And that was something that you also asked. You said, should I just list the new services in your marketing and all? I agree. And I want to give you an example. Back in 2006, that's when I started Huntsville Mobile Notary. That's all that I wanted to do. But guess what? It did not stop field inspection companies from reaching out to me and asking me to do field inspections for them. And I did. Nor did it stop mystery shopping companies from reaching out to me. They did. And more importantly, it did not prevent law firms from calling me and emailing me saying, hey, I'm on your website. I see that you're a mobile notary in Madison County. By chance, are you also a process server? I think sometimes we give company name too much emphasis, too much clout. I'm not saying it isn't important, but I don't think it matters as much as we, and I'm including myself in that, believe that it matters. Earlier, I mentioned removing at least 2 words from your company name, because the number of characters in your company name really does matter. It's got to fit. You have to factor in how it's going to show up in an email or in your logo. I send out electronic invoices to clients, and there are times I'm just like, dang it, my company name would fit better, look better in this invoice if it wasn't rolling over to a second line. You follow me? So yeah, I do think less can be more. And you've got to consider, you may have a company name that just really makes you feel good, but if it's this long, now how is that going to look in your written communication on your website? The other thing I have on this slide is don't do what I did, and I hinted at this. I started off for 2 years from 2006 to 2008 as a mobile notary. But after I continued to get calls from the legal community asking me to serve court documents, did my research, realized this was something that there was a need for and that I wanted to do it, I went and created a separate company called Huntsville Process Server. So that created two companies for me. I had to, again, now this is back in 2008, where I was doing more letters. I had envelopes that I wanted the company name on, and I was ordering business cards frequently. So I had two different business cards. Then I moved from the Madison County area to Jefferson County, and I'm like, dang it, my name, company name implies that I'm up in Madison County / Huntsville. So I felt I needed to change my company name to reflect, and I was about to make it Jefferson County or Birmingham. And that's when finally the light bulb went off, and I said, wait a minute. There's no telling down the road where I'll be living or whether I'll cover the entire state or not. Why choose a company name that restricts me or constricts me in some shape or form? And so that's why now the company name is Alabama Notary and Process Server. Now, is that all that I do? If you're a subscriber and if you're a member of the Facebook group that I run, you know it's not. I also have the Notaries for Alabama for training and mentoring. And I also sell insurance and bonds to notaries. So I just finally got to the point where I'm like, look, I can't keep changing my company name each time I offer a new service. So I'm now at the point where I just let folks know, even though Alabama Notary and Process Server doesn't imply that I am also an apostille agent, that I'm also a licensed private investigator, that I'm also a licensed insurance agent, it doesn't matter. I get that information out in a different way. What I think what really matters most in the notary business is that your first and last name, the name on your notary commission, the name on your official notary seal, the name that makes up your legal signature, that's what matters the most. That's who the customer trusts. That's who they will remember. More so than your DBA name, your LLC name. And so I hope that helps you NP in coming up with the right choice for you. I hope not only NP benefit from this information, but also others of you who are contemplating starting your first notary business. If you did find this information helpful, I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel, Notaries for Alabama, so that you can then turn on notifications as I continue to add more videos to help you through your journey as a notary. And this channel will not just focus on notary business owners. I'll also be adding videos for those of you who are employees of a company that requires you to notarize while you're at work. Also, go ahead, give us a thumbs up if you feel that you benefited from this video, and leave a comment below, and also feel free to ask a question. My contact information is on the screen. I'll also include it in the description. If you're interested in any training that I offer, head over to trainalabama.com. There is a on-demand course that I've heard good feedback from students called Jumpstart Your Mobile Notary Business. I encourage you to check that out. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you have a good rest of the day.